You're watching this video because you want to create an online course. Well, you're in luck because this video right here is going to be the only video you're going to ever need to watch on this topic, because we're going to be covering everything you need to know on creating your online course. Now, before we get started, if you check the description down below, you're going to find two links, which are two free resources, one of which being the Ultimate 100K Course Blueprint, which is essentially covering everything that coaches, creators, and entrepreneurs need to know to sell digital courses in less than 14 days. And inside that blueprint, you'll also gain access to our course outline template, which is essentially going to give you everything you need to know so you can keep track of your online course's progress. So you're always going to be organized and one step ahead. But enough of that, let's jump right into the video. So just a bit of housekeeping before we actually get started. You'll notice that around this section of the video, if you hover your mouse, you're going to see some chapters, and that's just because we like to timestamp everything. So in case you guys want to come back and reference back to a certain part of the video, you won't have to spend time wasting just looking for it, because all the chapters are going to be there so you can easily reference back. So in today's video, we're going to be covering why creating a course is a great idea, how long it really takes to make your course, and then we're going to walk you through our two-phase process of creating an online course. The first one is going to be the pre-development, and then the second one is going to be the development. So first things first, let's get one thing right out of the way. So you're watching this video because you are thinking or you are going to make an online course. Well, quickly, here are 3 reasons why you should definitely be making an online course this year. So number 1, it is the best way to share your knowledge easily, and it's essentially going to save you a bunch of time and stop you from repeating yourself every single time when you're talking to new clients. Number 2, once you're up and running, it's a passive income machine, especially if you're using the right software so you don't run into any issues, just like Wolfio, our all-in-one tool to sell online. You don't need to create any physical materials, you don't need to rent out a space so your students can come there, you don't need to spend hours and hours of time teaching, because once it's done, it's all ready to ship. And again, Wolfio will provide you with the tools and services you need to do all of this. So with all of that being said, you might be asking yourself how long it actually takes to create an online course. Well, luckily for you, we're going to be answering this question right now. So to be completely transparent, it really does depend on what you've already created and what you need to create. For instance, if you've already filmed all of your videos, they're all recorded, and all you have to do is host them, then it might just take you a few hours or a couple of days to get your sales pages up in order, to get all your email marketing campaigns ready, and then to, of course, to host your course on whichever software you're using. But if you also need to, 1, plan out your content, create that content, and then edit that content, and of course do everything else I just spoke about hosting your course, as well as doing your email marketing, your sales funnels, and all of that, then it might take you a few weeks, maybe even a month, depending on how much material you actually have. Now again, don't be discouraged if you are one of those people who are starting from scratch, because we have you covered. We have created an easily digestible 2-phase process of creating your online course. So both of these phases are going to give you steps on creating your online course, and doing these steps in the right order are really going to set you up for success. So the pre-development phase, this one is all about making decisions. So people buy courses because they want to achieve a result via a proven, tested framework. So essentially they're buying the process to learn what the things to do and how to achieve it. And if they did just want to learn how to do it, then they'll just hop onto YouTube and get that information there. But they're buying the course to actually learn what to do and how to achieve it. So the first thing to do is to start thinking of a topic, what you can teach your audience. And one of the best ways to come up with this solution is to actually think about in the past what your audience has been asking you for help for. Now, if you really have no idea what to create your course on, what you can see on screen right now is a list of course ideas which are going to be best for 2023, which include coaching, personal development, professional skills, making money online, IT and finance, marketing, design, photography and video, even fashion, beauty, as well as arts and craft. Now, once you have your topics, you need to do the research for it. Now, what I mean by this is checking your competitors out, so seeing what packages they're offering, what lead magnets they're offering, if there are any, as well as the ads they're running, and analyze what's working for them and what isn't. You then need to start making a decision, so decide whether or not your topic is going to be good enough and if there is enough demand for this topic. And finally, you need to find your own unique angle on this. So based off of the research you've made, you make a decision and then you try and find your own unique angle, what makes it unique to your course rather than someone else's course. So finally, to end the pre-development phase, you now need to make a lead magnet. So your goal of the lead magnet is to start collecting emails. So typically what you'll do is create a free resource that people can download in exchange for their information. Right here on screen, you can see a capture page which leads to the Ultimate 100K blueprint. This is a lead magnet where we can see if people are actually interested in learning how to make over 100K in their online courses. And this tells us straight away if we're getting signups for it because it is a free lead magnet that people are interested. And what happens behind the scenes is that we get all of their contact information, we enter them into a funnel, we put a tag on that contact, we list it that they're interested in online courses, and then we can send them a bunch of free resources at a later date. So then we can retarget them to a sales page, which then ends up taking them to either a webinar or a product like our courses, so then they can make a final purchase, and then we can convert that into a paying customer. Now, if you have no idea how to create a lead magnet, well, you're in luck because we have a dedicated video on how to do this, as well as how to start getting your first leads. So we'll leave a link to that in the description down below. But to give you a quick breakdown, here's everything you need to know. Step one is going to be to identify your audience. So this is done in your pre-development phase of doing all your research. You then need to decide on a value proposition, give your lead magnet a name, and then choose what you want to offer. So this could be a PDF, a testimonial, a mini course, or even a tutorial on something. And then finally, step 5, you want to create your lead magnet, create your opt-in page as well as your thank you page, deliver that product, and then create an email sequence so you can start retargeting your audience into that email sequence. And then eventually you're going to give them a bunch of value. And then finally, you're going to offer them something at the end where they can opt in, purchase something, and then you're going to start making sales on your courses. So again, if you want a breakdown on creating your lead magnet, click down here so you can check out the lead magnet video. We also have a separate video on creating your thank you page and your opt-in page so you can start generating those leads in just a few minutes. So now we've finished phase 1, let's now move over to phase 2, the development phase. So in this phase, you're going to go ahead and start creating your course. I'm going to break down everything you need to know, as well as what you need to know to actually start selling your course. So in this phase, it's a 2-step process where you're going to learn to create the actual course itself, as well as everything you need to know to create your sales pages, your opt-in pages, your thank you pages, and then delivering your product itself. So the goal of step 1 is to create your course, and what you want to do is outline all of your objectives as well as your goals when it comes to that actual creation of the course. And this is really important for yourself as well as for your customers and prospects, because you're going to have a proper idea of what you're actually going to be making and what you need to plan out and create, as well as this is also going to give an outline for your customers so they know exactly what they're going to be getting inside of your course. So give your course an outline so you know exactly what you're going to be creating and delivering, as well as your audience is also going to know what this is. And then once you've done that, you'll be able to create a few modules, so chapters, as well as a few lessons inside so you can complete this entire course. And you'll then also have a whole overview of your course creation process, so then your audience also knows exactly what they're going to be getting. So once you've done that, you'll then need to start scripting and recording your course. And this is honestly going to be the hardest part of creating your course, but trust me, it will pay off, because essentially, like I said at the start of this video, creating an online course is going to be an automatic money-making machine, because once you put in all of that work and it's all ready to ship, you then don't have to do anything else as long as you have a good opt-in and sales page, so then you can start delivering your products completely automatically. And again, Wolfio will allow you to do all of that in one single tool, so you're not going to need to use anything else. You can do all of your funnel creations inside of there. You can create your products, host your courses, as well as do all of your email marketing. And I also did mention you can even create your own websites as well as blogs and host your webinars all inside of Wolfio. So like I said, it really is the all-in-one tool that you need to start selling online. Now, whether you're wanting to record your course with a camera like this, or just with your phone, or even you just want to do a screen recording PowerPoint presentation, I always recommend to get the best equipment for this, because it's always great to have good audio as well as a good video and even a presentation, so then your audience doesn't get bored by just staring at a blank screen. So a few pieces of equipment that we recommend we will leave in the description down below, but one of which, if you are just getting started, is going to be a good lav microphone, which will be compatible with your smartphone, as well as a light that you can use to light yourself. At the moment, I'm using a professional light which costs over £500, but a simple selfie ring light will do just fine, especially if you're just doing it to create a course, because the main focus on this is to actually deliver good information in your course, not so much having high quality production like you can see on this video, but it is always an added bonus and your audience will appreciate it, and you'll also appreciate it when you're watching it back or even editing it, because you can see that you've got good quality and it also gives a higher perceived value. Of course, if you're just using the webcam on your MacBook and you don't have good lighting, it's not going to look very good. You can just get a simple, cheap selfie light and a good microphone, and that's instantly going to level up your videos and your courses, and it's going to give it a much higher perceived value. Now, when it comes to scripting your course, you don't have to do everything script by script or word by word. What we like to do is open up a PowerPoint, and again, you can use either Google Docs or OneDrive if you don't have the Microsoft 360 version. And what we want to do is just outline all of our ideas as well as our modules and chapters. We then like to give a few bullet points so we know exactly what we're going to be talking about and we can stay on track. And it also gives a good note-taking scheme, so your audience, whenever they're watching, they can easily take notes because they can also see the bullet points on your PowerPoint. And again, it's also just there to help you out so you don't divert off course and you can stay completely on track when it comes to delivering all of that value you want to give in your course. So once you're happy and you've outlined your entire course, go ahead and create that PowerPoint, and then you can go ahead and press record. And then once you've done that, you should be pretty much good to go. And again, we mentioned at the start of this video, there are 2 free resources you can download, one of which is the outline template for your course creation, so you can easily keep track of everything when it comes to recording your videos, and just make a note of once you've recorded each lesson or when a lesson is ready to record. It just gives you a great overview of how much you need to do left until your course is completely finished. So now we've completed step 1 in the development phase, we're now moving over to step 2, which is creating your sales page. So if you're watching this far throughout the video, then you are pretty much, I would say maybe 75% there, but the reality of it, you are actually only halfway there, because the course creation part is half of it, but the other half is actually selling your course. So if you don't have a good sales page, you don't have any opt-ins, you don't have any leads, the reality of everything is you might have an amazing course which everyone's gonna love, but you have no audience, you have no interest, which means you're gonna have 0 traction, and that also means you're gonna have 0 sales. So half of the battle is actually creating a great sales page so you can start generating loads of money. So a quick overview of step 2 is actually the sales page process. So number 1 when creating your sales page is that you do want to have a great bold headline which really stands out. You want to also tell people who this course is for, what the problems are going to solve in this course. You also want to have the offer as well as any bonuses, so any add-ons that you can also add on to this. And then finally, you want to have a great call to action, which is specifying now and not tomorrow. So you need to buy this now and not tomorrow. So you could add some call to action saying, this is only going to be available for the next 2 hours. You better buy it now, otherwise it's not going to be available. Again, you could add discounts. So you could do like a 30% discount if you buy this now, which is going to add a little bit more urgency and it's going to encourage people to buy it now and not tomorrow. So having a clear call to action is going to be one of the most important things, because the call to action, which you can see up here, is the first thing that people are going to see as soon as they land on your page. So make sure it's nice and bold, nice and clear, and you know exactly what you're going to be offering to your audience, so they know exactly what they're getting their hands into. Next up is to have a clear introduction. So what you want to do with this is just introduce your course, make it clear what you're actually offering, because having a complex or complicated offer is going to turn your audience away. So if they can't understand what you're offering, they're not going to stick around and figure it out. Again, attention spans nowadays are so short, especially to do with TikTok. So if you can't exactly tell them what they're getting in the first 2 to 3 seconds, they're going to click away from your page and you're going to lose that prospect. So for instance, let's say I'm trying to sell an email app or a software. My headline for this could be "Get your inbox to zero in just 15 minutes." So the offer in this is clear, because you know exactly straight off the bat that you can easily and quickly delete all of your emails in your inbox and get it cleared to zero in just a few minutes. So once you've got your headline and your introduction, we then want to add some social proof if possible. So again, if you have social following, just to kind of prove who you are, as well as testimonials or reviews, try and add that in your page, because it adds more social proof, it adds more authority, and it also just kind of subconsciously tells your audience that this person is legit. And of course, they can review it and they can read and watch the video testimonials if you've got them. But to be completely honestly speaking here, a lot of people don't actually read it. They'll just scroll past it to see if you've got any, just to see if you're legit, just to see if you've got that social proof. So you don't have to worry too much about what the content is inside of it, because a lot of the people don't actually watch it, but it's just good to have there as social proof. So now the before last step in this is to justify your price. Be sure to justify exactly what you're offering and what you're selling. And if you can also try and compare it to other competitors. So for example, if someone is selling something at $2,000 and you're selling it at $2,500, tell them exactly what they're getting. Have a bullet point list of exactly everything they're getting. For example, you could offer coaching services, you could offer resources as well as the courses, you could offer a live chat room so people can ask questions whenever they want. Try and make it as valuable as possible so it really does stand out. Because a lot of the times when people are looking for online courses, they're not just going to be looking at your online course, they're also going to be doing research on other online courses, and they're going to compare everything. So if you have something with a list just outlining everything they're going to be getting as well as bonuses, then that's really going to stand out, and you're really going to be able to justify your price and comparing it to their competitors. So essentially your goal here is to try and win that customer over other competitors. And again, with your pricing justification, you can also add guarantees. So for example, money back guaranteed after 14 or 7 days. You could also have percentages. If you're not satisfied, you can get a percentage back on your refund. And again, softwares like Wolfio are really useful in these scenarios, because we have stats to see if your members are actually consuming your content. So for example, if someone's only consumed 1%, they made it on an impulse, they did an impulse purchase, and then realized that they don't actually need it, it's not for them, or something, they've watched 1% of the course, then sure, give them a refund. But if they watched 100 or 80% of the course, they've consumed it all, or even if they watched it 2 to 3 times, and then they want a refund, then that's kind of a red flag to you, being like, they've consumed this 3 times, I know that it's given value to them. You can make that decision whether or not you give that refund. But in any cases, it is always good to have that refund guarantee, or that kind of guarantee, just so you can kind of sway that person in that direction of purchasing. And in most cases, if you're confident that your course is valuable, having a guarantee won't harm your business. Now finally, the last step is the FAQ section. So this section is extremely useful to have on your sales page, because essentially what it can do is answer questions that your customers might be having, or answer any problems they might be facing that weren't clear in the sales page. It's also a great way because it saves you time, it saves you having to respond to people if they're having to email you or send you a message on Instagram asking a specific question about that course, because you have that FAQ section at the bottom of your page. And hopefully that's also going to help you convert even more sales, all thanks to a little bit of actual question and answering sections that you can just include to answer any problems. But there we go, guys. That is the end of this video. Hopefully it did help you out, and now you know exactly how to create your online course from 0 to 100%. I hope this video did help you out. Remember, there are 2 free resources you can download for free in the description down below, so go ahead and do that. And if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to check out the rest of our videos all about creating your online course and managing your business online this year.